Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Tyranny, Blind. Last time I took down the voices of Nerat, and now I'm heading to confront Graven Ashe. This massive fortress is perched atop an edge of a tier that helps form the Blade Grave's northern border. Graven Ashe took an ancient castle during the conquest and now launches all of the Disfavored operation from this well-defended fortress. You journey across the blackened, scalded earth of the contested lands is interrupted as the stones beneath your feet tremble. With a groan that shakes the sky and rattles your ribs, the earth tears violently open, throwing an arcing gout of flame, smoke and cinders into the air. The pyrotechnic arc collapses as quickly as it arose, spraying sparks across the stones as it crashes to the ground. You find yourself separated from the destination by a wide and curving band of slowly flowing lava. Cool the lava with frost. Your hands twist and contort, singing the symbol of the Archon of Frost into the air, drawing down the ancient history of time. You gesture outward, channeling the arcane energies forward, and they take the shape of a blast of air, frigid enough to freeze a tearsman in the track. You see no effect at first, but continued effort causes the molten flow to slow, darken, and eventually stop entirely. You make your way across the gully before the heat of the Edict of Fire can break the earth again. I have a slight feeling I might have to kill Barik, because I can't imagine him standing with me when I fight Ashe.
I'm not here to make friends.
This is useless. I should try something else. Will do. It's a hit. On it.
I see it.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Harsh words would cause more harm.
And to be honest, while I will pity his passing a little, actually not that much, because he annoys me a great deal. Like, he's so set in his belief of cultural superiority that I find it
on it.
At best distasteful, and at worst actually disgusting. Like, he's been spouting platitudes at me since the very beginning about how conquering this land is actually good for the people that are being conquered, and I will never get behind that.
This isn't working!
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon. That's how it's done. I need to try a different weapon. How could I miss?
What is wrong with my weapon?
Stand tall, Fatebinder.
Fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Are you afraid of death?
Better, faster, and stronger.
I can't take much more of this.
Come and face my iron! It's a hit!
Pity you won't enjoy this as much as I do.
My armor is dented. Let me repair it.
This isn't working.
Yeah, the Disfavored are an infinitely greater challenge than the Chorus. I wonder how will Ashe compare to Nerat in that regard.
On it. Can't do that. Interesting. Sorry, I can't.
Plus 10 to control life. Might be good for Lantry, maybe? But I think he needs a thrown weapon to use his skills, so... This stall contains spoils acquired on the battlefield, all of it neatly labeled and organized.
Heads up. We have company. This is useless. I should try something else.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Well struck.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
This is useless. I should try something else.
The fuck is wrong with my weapon? Fall before me!
Although, to be honest, if Barik turns against me, that's going to be very difficult, because not only will I have to fight him, I will be down a squad member.
Found something. Sorry, I can't.
The production of new potions isn't keeping up with demand. Many of the bottles remain empty.
Heads up, we have company.
Lift my feet.
What the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Come and face my iron. Take me if you can.
This is useless. I should try something else.
For the glory glory of Kairos!
For the glory of Kairos! I've had far worse.
I've had far worse.
This is useless. I should try something else.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Sorry, I can't.
The silence and cacophony tells me that the voices of Narat is dead, and I have every reason to celebrate. But I don't imagine for a moment that you came seeking my gratitude for a job well done.
So, you see fit to grace my halls with your presence. This will be the last time. I have no wish to consort with traitors. You have held back this campaign against the Tears long enough. After I grind your bones into the dry earth, my Disfavored will take back this realm for the vaunted North, and you will be forgotten.
Well, I guess there's literally no conversation to be had. All my options are just attack. The homeland is behind you, Ashe. Only death lies ahead.
If you are set on a course of your own destruction, spare the North your polluted speech.
Before either of you can make it the first strike, Barik steps forward and bellows in protest.
Fatebinder, this doesn't need to happen. Please! It is short-sighted for Archon to stand against Archon. The two of you would be more powerful as equals and collaborators. I beg that you consider another option.
Well, I myself am actually very open to that idea, but I don't think Ashe is. The Archon of War would not have it any other way, would you, Ashe?
Do not force me into mediating your squabble. The protests of your companions are nothing to me. As far as I'm concerned, they are all as corrupted as you.
Archon, no! I am still your good northern soldier through and through. My loyalty, my place in the phalanx...
Gone. All of it. We are finished, and I remove you from my legion and my protection. No sooner will I return to the North than your family will be disgraced. Your celebrated name made to rot in the public square.
Ashe turns to you with hatred.
Gather, my legion! We will see this pestilence dispatched for the battlement of war! Fatebinder, prepare yourself! Teach this one a lesson. We will not suffer insubordination.
Why aren't they all attacking me? That would be, you know, much more dangerous.
Far worse.
Because if they are going to keep coming at me in waves, then I might actually take them.
Die!
Will do. On it.
I need to try a different weapon.
Damn thing couldn't pierce the cloth. Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Grovel before me!
Take that!
Bleed out, you little shit.
Time to change weapons.
Right.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
he's stupid. Like, what kind of... This makes no sense, and it annoys me. Like, I understand that it would make little sense, logically speaking, if I could take like 100 men at once, and the engine probably wouldn't, you know, support that. But at least they could have contrived some kind of a, you know, like a bridge or like the battlements or whatever that would funnel the enemy. Because as is, the game is telling me that he's literally ordering them to attack in waves of like 5 people. Like, is he stupid? Does he want to lose?
I've had far worse. Come and face my...
See that? I'm not entirely useless.
This is not a fight you can win. Attack, my soldiers!
On it.
This isn't working!
Where do you think you're going?
What is wrong with my weapon?
Don't throw your lives away, my northerners! I will handle this upstart myself!
Fuck is wrong with my weapon?
There will be nothing left of you!
Will do.
This is embarrassing.
Right.
Time to change weapons.
Land ray you. Opsy shit. Focus.
The fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Let's give them something to remember.
Right.
Time to change weapons.
Did I always have this much blood? They won't even get close.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Sorry. I can't. Will do.
Did I always have this much blood?
Right.
This weapon is useless.
Better not wake up dead.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon. Don't mind me.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon.
Good as new, or at least newish.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Damn thing couldn't pierce me.
See that? I'm not entirely useless.
Take that!
Got them in my sights.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Stricken, the Archon looks down on the bloodstained hands with disbelief. Beds of sweat roll from his brow and glisten at the corner of his eyes. Graven Ashe turns his attention to you. The last of the fight has left him, and nothing remains but the final vestiges of a defeated man.
A word, please. Humor an old man and his regrets.
Ashe glances about the disfavored corpses littering the courtyard. His shoulders quake as his strength departs him.
Ashe, you can't leave us. The disfavored need you still. Without you...
Barik trails off, his words failing him. The Archon of War's face contorts into a rictus of anger. Bloody sputum leaps from his mouth as he opens it to shout nothing. He stares into Barik's twisted visage, and his own features soften.
Peace, son of Barikonen. The North will remember me. All things come to an end, as your friend here is about to learn.
Say what you would, Archon.
You are on a path to incredible power. A path that I walked long, long ago. There was strength, victory, triumph. Everything an Archon of War should expect from a life so accomplished.
He takes a deep breath through his nose as he clings to life.
But there was also pain. Had I another century to describe it, I could not explain the punishing agony of my devotion. My soldiers grew to depend on me, and I gifted them my protection. But I also took their harm upon myself. I had the strength to endure, for a time. Every gutting, every crushed bone, every death. I took it all upon myself, to spare my troops. You must be prepared to do the same. Your rise to power is no matter of personal glory. It touches all who trail in your wake. When you ascend, you won't be alone. Far from it. There will be others who look to you. You will be responsible for them in more ways than you can know. Take care with those who follow you. Depend on each other. But harden yourself to accept the burden of their love. Devotion can bite deeper than any spear.
He looks to your assembled company with a mixture of sympathy and regret.
I hope that you are prepared for what comes next. Because...
He grits his teeth as a fresh wave of agony threatens to overcome him.
Because Kairos will not make it easy.
His energy spent, the Archon releases all of his tension, and for an instant his face reflects deepest peace. Graven Ashe, the last of the great northern warlords, dies before your eyes.
Archon! Archon! Damn you, General, get up! Get up!
Barik balls his hands into fists and locks them at his side. Seeing that one fall is like watching a spire hit the ground. Somehow I thought I would enjoy it more. Verse frowns to herself and shrugs.
We actually did it! We slew the Archon of War! I'll document later. Right now, I think I need a change of pants and a good cleansing vomit.
After several attempts to write in a trembling hand, Lantry tosses the quill aside, letting out a long sigh as he paces in tight circles, shaking his arms with nervous energy. Wait. If killing Ashe killed all of the Disfavored, because of the Aegis, I assume, shouldn't it kill Barik as well? Like, I don't understand this. Also, I guess I am a bit sad about Ashe, because Nerat was a monster, but Ashe was just... This medallion is typically gifted to the most proven and decorated officers of the Disfavored Legion. It represents the eternal gratitude and love of Graven Ashe, the Archon of War. And this is his mace, but it's a two-handed weapon, which I don't care about. You know, Ashe was misguided, sure, mostly because of his prejudice, which annoys me. But fundamentally, he cared a lot about his soldiers, for example. And generally, I hoped we could get along somehow. These reports list all known Scarlet Chorus outposts and strongholds, as well as troop compositions. It's safe to assume that Graven Ashe has his eyes and ears within the ranks of his enemies. Okay, let's go to talk to the smith now that Graven Ashe is dead, because I should be able to remove Barik's armor. Should I want to? Or rather, should he want to, I guess, because I'm not going to force him to do it. By the way, Barik, are you, like, okay? I really thought he would turn on me. You try to get Barik's attention, but he cannot find the strength to lift his head and register your presence. His helmet is downcast, the iron around his eyes corroded into ragged slits that lack any of their former evident humanity. I had to kill Graven Ashe. He didn't give me any choice. You hear a choked sob under his helmet, but it goes silent just as quickly. Are you still with me, Barik? A tremor passes through his armor. Separate from awareness, it strikes you as the jerking reflex of a dead nerve. You can't tell if Barik is awake under the rusted shell, much less alive. Stand at attention. His soldiers slump even deeper than before. Barik's knees lack the strength to support the heavy frame. It seems to take all of his remaining willpower to stay upright. Well, I guess you won't talk to me now. Before you step away, Verse touches your arm and looks at Barik with concern.
What's wrong with him?
His Archon is dead. I don't think he's handling it very well. She looks to you with a plea in her eyes. Oh, she cares, after all. She nods, her hand straying to the hilt of a blade at her side, for comfort. She looks away, finding it difficult to look at Barik's depleted form.
Pull it together, big guy. I know you're strong enough to make it through this.
She quickly draws her arm across her nose and shakes her head with sorrow. In spite of his infirmity, you can tell that there is still strength left in Barik's limbs. He may even mumble a choice word at times, but nothing more than echoes of a lost man. He probably needs time. This sucks for him, but
Sorry, I can't.
He really didn't leave me a choice. Like, I would have talked with him if he wanted. Which is, by the way, in stark opposition to the voices of Nerat, because I wouldn't have talked to the voices of Nerat, even if he wanted to. I was set on killing him. And let's go to the secluded forge. Fatebinder, I didn't really expect to see you again. What with everything. It'll take more than a few Archon-led armies to do me in. Glad to hear it, she laughs. You bested the Archon of War, that's an incredible feat. A legendary feat, provided the Overlord doesn't rewrite the telling of it. I suspect I know why you're here, she glances at Barik. Getting him out of his armor is no simple feat. It's part of him now, fused into his muscle and skin. Anything that gets out, well, it'll be akin to peeling him like a potato. The outside will come off, sure, but it's going to take some good stuff with it. I've given it some thought, and I have a possible solution. I don't think you're going to care for it, though. Or who knows? Maybe it'll be your kind of thing. Well, thoughts, Barik? Do you even want that? He remains silent. I wonder if the material has already protruded into his brain. Lysentia peers up at Barik, rising to the tips of her toes. If I don't like it, I won't do it. Simple enough. Makes sense. Not sure what the alternative would be, though, except leaving him in his armor. Without Ashe's protection, Barik stands very little chance of surviving the removal of his armor. That said, I know a ritual to ease the process. It requires a component with as much sympathetically in common with the individual as the armor. In a word, blood. Because of the iron in it? Oh, well, do they know that there's iron in the blood? That's interesting. I would think, to be cognizant of that fact, you would have to know the molecular structure of blood, but maybe they are, because blood is said to taste somewhat metallic, and it has literal iron in it, as in the element of iron. So maybe they take it from the taste that it has to have iron inside, because of the iron in it. Precisely, very good, Fatebinder. What was the purpose of the rite? They used it for taking malformed armor off of the dead ones without further maligning the corpse. Only the Disfavored are worthy of iron armor, and we bury our own with their arms. Then the Forgebound must be preparing for a time. One of those no longer remains true. Unfortunately, given the connection of the alloy with the Overlord's Edict of Storm, the blood will need to come from a ruler, royal blood, enough to fill a tub. And what with Kairos' forces reaping the tears of their rulers, its component is in short supply. Will Archon blood serve? Perhaps in the case of Graven, Ashe, or Tunon. Given the Archon blood might have any number of unknown properties, I will be very hesitant to use it. Perhaps Tarkis Ari will be willing to make a donation to the cause, but enough to fill a tub? That would kill a person. I doubt that we could take enough blood from Lady Tarkis without killing her, and we need her to keep the other factions from killing one another in your absence. Let's not plunge the Tears into another civil war before we finish the first. What of the statue of Queen Lyceris at the Edgering? How many gallons of her blood does she cry in a day? Well, would it work? But decided to join us, Barik. He stares blankly at you. I'm well familiar with the statue. The sages wanted to pry into it, but the Vendrian Guard wouldn't let them anywhere near, save for those who fought in their ranks. It's some bloody tears of a dead queen, a portent of the blood to be spilled in defense of Apex, in probably mineral-rich water. Given that the waters turned red when the Kairos' forces invaded, there's likely a metaphysical, if tenuous, tie to the Overlord. It should work perfectly. If you could haul a barrel of this stuff out here, I should be able to release Barik from his cage. Probably. Oh, it's been a while since I was there. You catch a hint of movement in the distance, little more than a shiver and a shadow in the remnants of a village that clings to the edge of a pillar of stone. You remain far from both half-gates and cacophony, so it seems unlikely that the settlers or soldiers lurk among the ruins. Perhaps scavengers or a rogue pack of beastmen have made the crumbling building their home. Adobe homes, cracked by the Overlord's Edict of Stone and bleached by the sun, rest in the loose semicircle around where you would imagine a well or a square once stood. Instead, the land ends abruptly, demarcating a plunge by hundreds of feet into the shadowed depths below. From the windows of several of the houses spill a faint violet light. You move quickly near one of the buildings, using it as cover to see to the next house, the near wall of which has conveniently collapsed. Within it you see a group of humans gathered around shards of azurelith, the purple crystals that appeared in the stone sea in the wake of Kairos' edict. As you get closer, you can see that they wear the minimum of clothing necessary to preserve their modesty. Their skin bears lines of light shimmering purple against the darkness within the home. The people within the squat building seem wholly unaware of you, their attention entirely on the shrine of collected azurelith shards that dominates the corner. The lines of light on their skin seem to trace primitive runes, which bear a distant semblance to the markings beastmen sometimes carve into their skin. The people chant quietly, invoking Cairn, the fallen Archon of Stone, to restore their lands and deliver them from suffering. You step into the open and hail the group, inspiring a commotion, startled cries and raised pitchforks. You offer your open, empty palms and consider what to say. What are you doing out here? One of the villagers, a lanky man with stringy hair, steps forward. You notice that his skin seems dry and dusty, cracked in some places like a parched earth of the stone sea. His eyes shimmer with violet light, but it might be a reflection from the azurelith. We commune with the man of the mountain. He grants us his boons and protects us from the cruelties of this place. He shall come to us in time to save us from the Overlord's tyrannical yoke. The villagers nod in agreement. Well, I don't care about it being illegal. It's a little weird, especially because I killed him, but I finished him off. And they must have noticed because the quakes stopped. Eventually someone from, Cacophony, I've killed them all, so do you mind if I join you? Eyes wide with surprise, the villagers invite you into their circle. They paint your features with crushed crystal, and you meditate on the violet light. You feel a warmth spread from your bones into your skin. You leave the villagers behind, feeling hardened against the dangers of the tears. So I guess someone listens to them. It might not be Cairn himself, but something happened.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
I wasn't expecting the Bane here.
Look at that, a future core.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
That's how it's done!
Don't know my own strength.
Little remains of the small scarlet chorus and disfavored camps that once claimed this clearing, save tattered tarps and the reek of old latrines.
Another battle. I think we're bad at making friends.
That one wrapped me hard.
We should try that again.
Dent.
Probably more force than was necessary. See that? I'm not entirely useless.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Come and feast my iron.
That's how it's done.
Fall before me!
A torrent of thick red blood pours from the hollow eyes of Queen Lycerys' stone likeness. Though out of immediate reach, you suspect that you could find a way to access it. Command Barik to toss you to the bowl. Okay. No, well, I'll do it myself. With a running jump, you may be able to cross the chasm and reach the basin.
Sorry, I can't.
Its wheels sunken into the mud, this cart stands abandoned, bereft of the rows of weapons that graced it when you first came to Vendrin's Well.
Can't do that.
Welcome back, Archon. I do believe I espy a barrel of Queen's blood. She looks you up and down, frowning with a mixture of interest and distaste. She helps you roll the barrel into the workshop, and the two of you dump the noisome liquid into a large copper tub. Alright, Barik, into the wet. Trundling over to the basin, Barik places a hand on his hip. No, on its lip, rather. He flops heavily into the vat without a word and lies there motionless. Here goes everything. Lysentia mutters and traces a series of luminescent sigils in the air as she circles the tub. The hairs on your arm and the back of your neck slowly rise. The vat begins to bubble, and the metal grins against metal as Barik releases a prolonged hiss. The smith puts a hand to one of Barik's sharp spines and slowly draws it from him, as if pulling a blade from a sheath. You barely make out Barik's pained grunt under the workshop's myriad sounds. The shards come free, with bloody strands of flesh dangling from it. Use your magic to aid the process. Oh, I can try to heal him? Or like, you know, help him with the pain. Sure, let's do that. You add your own sigils into the air, fortifying Barik's body against his ordeal. He visibly relaxes. Foam-crested red liquid sluices between the gaps in Barik's armor, darkening as the grime and filth from the carabs mixes with the blood of the queen and the stone shield alike. He shudders, his left gauntlet clamped tightly over the space left by one of Lysentia's past excisions. Chanting, the smith places a chisel to the side of Barik's helm and knocks on it 3 times with a hammer. Each blow resounds louder than the last, and the third is accompanied with a sound like a blade slicing into the armor. She places both hands on one of the metal spines, crowning Barik's head, and begins to pull. He screams. The procedure finally reaches its conclusion, and Lysentia slumps against the wall, her hair tangled and sweat-soaked. Her hands and face red with gore, she releases a long, shuddering sigh as the energies in the room slowly dissipate. Clad only in the small clothes and a thick patina of blood and grime, Barik stands before you. Heavy ropes of matted hair hang before his broken face, and long twisted scars mar his limbs and torso. He reeks of sweat and feces, the stench coalescing with the heady smell of gore and iron into a noxious whole. Your stomach hurts. You okay, Barik? His eyes flicker up to you, brows knitting into a scowl, lips twisting to a grimace.
The dishonor of our actions has hollowed me, Archon. I may never be unsullied again.
Welcome back to the life of the free, you walking pile of... I'll have to dream up some new names for you, won't I? Anyway, put some pants on. I'm tired of looking at your... everything.
Now, I can actually draft your official portrait for the Chronicle. You have no idea how much this omission has haunted me.
I hate to cut this short, but I'm dead on my feet, and there's one last thing we need to settle. Her eyes meet yours. I'm keeping the alloy we pulled off of him. In exchange, I took the liberty of forging the sample you thought you brought me before into an axe. I hope it's worthy of you. She pulls a long-hafted bearded axe from the wall and putters it off to you. Its head glimmers in the wan light of the forge. Thank you, Lysentia, for everything. It was my honor, Archon. She places the axe into your hands. It bristles with energy, a spark leaping from its curved blade. I'd wish you safe journeys if I thought it would do you any good, so try to stay out alive out there. Check on Barik at the mountain spire. Okay, let's go back then. The former stone shield stares mutely at his heavy hands. Mangy hair hangs over his face, and grime coats every inch of him.
Archon?
He crosses his arms over his chest and frowns slightly, the gesture apparently unfamiliar in the absence of his carapace. Feeling any better?
Yes. The pain has faded significantly. The memory of it, however, I suspect that shall remain with me until I draw my last breath. The great general is dead. The Disfavored broken. Everything I have valued in my life lost. And in return, what has the world gained? A stone shield who can choose to lay down his armor? And you, with your half-truths and shadow dealings, do I accept them as tools of the court? Merely a result of your training? Or do they mark an unredeemable lack of character?
Give it a try then. Redeem me. In whatever way you think it might be possible. Like, I'm open to a discussion at the very least. Always. I think everything should be discussed. It's just that I find some of Barik's beliefs to be, indefensible. Mostly his disdain for anyone who's not a Northerner.
Me? I suppose if you truly desire my guidance, I can try to teach you what I know of honor, as I was taught by General Ashe, and my father before him.
I would appreciate that.
And I appreciate your efforts.
He smiles weakly. Are you planning on, like, shaving or something?
This again? Please, my Lord Binder. You have something which requires my attention?
Barik salutes as he turns to greet you.
What can I do for you?
Wait, we had this conversation. Have you noticed that you fight particularly well together?
The thought has crossed my mind from time to time.
The big guy here is as useless as an empty scabbard without his phalanx to keep him alive, but I move fast enough to compensate for it. And it's nice having a living wall of rust. If you want to attach some arcane...
In the Disfavored ranks, the Oathbound, I would suggest that our...
Sentences. Okay.
I'm not sure what's up with that.
Hello, Fatebinder. What do you need?
No, I need some clothes for Barik, I guess. Or better yet, some actual armor, although I'm not sure. What's my objective right now? Final judgment. Yeah, go to Tunon. I am not going to take Barik. I am going to take people who are most loyal to me, which doesn't include him. So I'll just give him something, so that he's not naked. Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not going to take him with me, and I think, like, the confrontation with Tunon seems kind of final-ish, because I can't imagine the game will go long enough for me to actually confront Kairos. Like, I've been playing for what, 50 hours? I think I'm kind of getting there to whatever the end is. Like, the quest is literally called Final Judgment.
On it.
Okay, so who has the greatest reputation with me? Lantry, of course. Ebb. And I guess either Kills in Shadow or Verse, strange enough. But I'll take Ebb, Lantry, and Kills in Shadow, because Kills in Shadow is a ridiculously good fighter. So if it ends in a fight with Blood and Mark, for example.
Alpha Beast, Fatebinder won't.
Goodbye to you too.
Will do.
I trust all is well, my glorious Archon. I'm honored you wish to speak. What is it you need? Smartest thing you've said all day.
Be seeing you, Fatebinder.
Yeah, that's exactly what I worried is going to happen.
I got it.
Alpha Beast, Fate.
Goodbye to you too.
It's rather annoying.
Goodbye to you too.
Okay, I really think I need to restart the game. Okay, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save here and end it for now. And I'll go confront Tunon next time. For now, that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!